Welcome back. Let's take a look at the Divine Masculines read. Yes, for those of you that do want this content ahead of the crowd, we do have this via a YouTube membership. Now, if you want to know what's included, we do have an intro video that is on the main YouTube channel. So without further ado, let's take a look at the energy this week and what I see coming through for Divine Masculine. Now, what I am noticing from the cards is these individuals really do feel intellectually stuck pending, but there is going to be a breakthrough. There has been something of a mindset that they've had really relating to a blockage in their path. And I do feel they're taking great responsibility with it. However, I do feel that they're second guessing this. And this is actually a healthy thing. So hear me out on this one. Sometimes from our conditioning, and I'm noticing with the dot on the third eye, especially because we have Venus in Leo, which is the sun, it's our future, it's the way we're going. We're going to have Venus retrograde. I'm noticing from a Mercury orientated energy, they did put their eggs in one basket. I also feel from a spiritual point of view, they're really intellectualizing that. They're really thinking about it. And where these blockages are, what they believe that they have to do, some of that is really shedding away. And I even feel it's going to be positive, even for those that are getting super fixated on the 3D, really feeling this is what they've got to do. When we come down to the heart of it, whatever these blockages are, they're really, really physically looking at this very heavily. I do see them looking to the past of a more natural way of being, which is more authentic, more conducive with who they are. And at a particular point in their path, they may have chosen a particular cycle because at that point in time, they were unable to expand, liberate, and it felt comfortable. But they're also remembering the resonance of how that felt to be neutral, calm, and it's definitely not how they're feeling right now. But something of a guilt sense is coming up, especially relating to cycles. I think a lot of them are thinking, gee, I really don't want to repeat the cycle. I really don't want to keep going in circles. And they really did think some of these things, either intellectually or physically, we're going to be having breakthroughs that really haven't eventuated in that level. I do feel many, we're feeling as though the eclipse season did knock them for 6. But they do feel there's something that needs to go in there, really trying to meditate upon how to get rid of it. Yeah, they're really trying to go into their psyche. I do feel they're getting some psychic downloads. We do have the card of the priest, and, definitely in our transits and our ascension process, this can be very psychic in nature. It can be a guru. Some actually turning in maybe to a tarot reading. It could be to a spiritual guru. This also could be to really connecting with their guides. And I think just in general, there's a lot of meditation here, meditation of the heart. Yeah, they completely know that whatever this blockage is, I'm going to go into the blockage. I think it's almost a 3D circumstance that they feel they have to do. For some, it could be a tribe and a family, especially with the moon here in reverse, even though it doesn't feel like such. It could be a family. This also could be an unwell individual, again, family or karmic. I also feel some of this is emotional. Divine feminine showing up here. I'd especially say this individual can be going through a very uncomfortable scenario. And look, again, their goal is you. But they're also seeing, regardless of the goal, they're feeling guilty that they're letting you down, but they're feeling guilty of, it feels like a pothole in the road. There's a situational ship that needs addressing. They feel that there is this desire to have this new beginning, but also you're not accepting crumbs anymore. There's a whole lot more. And I'm hearing the term excuses. And this circumstance here that I'm seeing psychically doesn't directly feel like an excuse. It's either psychological or a physical situation. It does feel like it's a real problem. This is something that they definitely do want to resolve. They're very, very frustrated. but they also don't want to lose out. And in the past, they really have. And so there could have been a bit of tunnel vision that they had. And I feel they're taking a moment at this point to step back and to look at it. For some of you, it could be that you're actually going to have a conversation with them. And I feel through the conversation, they could get some light bulb moments inside their own personal life. I do feel it's been very hard to accept, especially with this taking off the mask card. It does relate to the 11. And a lot of times, some of these messages do end up being masculine and feminine. This can be some harsh words. It can be some statement pieces. Sometimes it's even the goal to reunite, the psychic attacks. But nevertheless, divine masculine here in the mix is really thinking about divine feminine. There could be some sense of shame. Pardon me. They almost feel that you can see through the mask. Even if they had one on, they feel that you can see straight through them. But you're not making it easy for them. You're actually requiring them to come to terms with it, accept it, deal with it. And I do feel they're thinking about you quite a bit. I do feel they feel quite anxious that they really have to address this. For some, it can be that they're thinking of moving in with you, but they know, again, there is a drama. This can be caring for a karmic. It could be a very, very codependent karmic, and there's guilt associated to such. For some, they can have children. And they were worried about judgment. But again, I'm not really feeling that's the be-all and end-all at this point in time. I feel it's them judging themselves. I do also feel this marriage card here in reverse for some. I do feel they're really reflecting, upon divine feminine of the past, a missed opportunity. I also feel those that are in a karmic relationship, they know at a foundation level that they've already made the decision this is ending, or this has ended. They could be waiting on some paperwork. Some of them also have had you up in their head quite a bit lately. Yeah, they have not found anyone quite like you. They can't put their finger on it. And they have tried to for many, many years, but this feels like it's an unexplainable connection. It's almost like a haunting. They do feel that you push them to be the best version of themselves they can be, even if they haven't been able to completely show that. And that there was a bit of intimidation there for a bit. For a long time, I also feel they were quite baffled at the fact that you believed in them. Yeah, very, very baffled. I just keep hearing, we've got the imprisonment card psychologically. Their hands are in their face. And I just keep hearing, what they're saying is, I know what I need to do. I know what I need to do. I don't think this is a head and heart. I honestly feel their intentions, their energy, how they feel towards you. That is extremely clear. The conundrum they're having is this karmic third party situation. I do feel they were learning how to break a cycle inside of this, but they've taken it a little bit too far. This could have related to their childhood. They'd really tried to build themselves back up to be a better version of themselves. Somehow they got entwined in a circumstance that ended up being a little bit more than they anticipated. I'm hearing the term no negotiation. They know what they want. They know there's no choice. Yeah, it literally feels like there's no choice. I also feel this very addictive tendency. It's quite obsessive. It's almost like this anxiousness where they want to reach out, they want to see you. They know they need to end this cycle. They can't open that door without that. But it does feel it's almost necessary. It does take me back to the earlier stages of the journey, particularly for those of you that are divine feminines. You could relate to this. Is where maybe you needed to leave a karmic situation or ship, and there was almost like that confirmation that you needed, this promise, so to speak, promise that you will be there, and it's so that you're not alone. It's so that you're not being silly or choosing something, even though psychologically you completely know what you want. I feel they're really in the inner feminine, moving into their masculine energy of ascension. Even if they have been married in the past, they're really saying that hasn't turned them off wanting that with you. That's something that's been quite heavy on their mind. It's been a goal. They've known for a long time. They picture you in their head and it's almost like the disappointment. Your guides are working with them. I just keep hearing it's not negotiable. It's not negotiable. It has to be addressed. This is a very difficult circumstance. I really feel this is the week they're going to make a major decision. You in the mix, that is not a question. They haven't changed their mind in that. I especially feel for those that already are single and they're not in a karmic relationship any longer. There's no temptation to go back to that. Some of them, there is the karmic that is coming out of the woodworks. But they're making reference to the fact there's, Dorothy, click, click, like there's no place like home. They're feeling as though there's nothing like you. It's not, you can't replicate it. It's a connection. It's not able to be replicated. I do feel those in communication, the statement piece is going to be very, very firm. No third party, no interferences, very, very firm boundaries. Almost like divine feminine has embodied the divine masculine energy, but it's not going to be where you're going to be dominant. It's where you're going to make statement pieces. This is my needs. These are my needs. It's not going to work that way. These are my needs. And I feel because you're doing that, this person really is very solidly knowing this has to happen. And it feels very quick. Very quick. They also feel divine feminine is wondering what the heck is happening. Divine feminine does have some fantastic ideas. This can be in a solutional sense. So many of you also could know what the problem is, how this is playing out, what would be needed. But not only do you want, I feel you want this person to see their worth. I feel you're wanting them to see what a situation is without projecting it. I do feel there has been a bit of projection. They're making reference to something called They know that there's going to be a cause and effect. This is the conundrum. They're like, right, okay. For those in a very toxic karmic relationship, they know there's going to be backlash. They know there could be financial losses, entanglements, the yuck. So it's a little bit like the metaphorical pulling the toenail out. On the opposite side of it, They're actually making mention to, if transformations aren't changing and the pebbles on the road keep happening, that the misfortune, in fact, is going to be almost like they're feeling they're going to lose you. And it does feel very strong here. There's a consequence. There's a cause and effect here. I do feel that's something they're not wanting. I do feel at times they have felt quite, yeah, that's the word they're referencing, cursed. There's been almost like the evil eye has been on it. Great time to do sort of like spiritual protection, using your gems and crystals this month. It really did kick off last month, but this is the month here. You really, really want to be on your A game when it comes to that. There is going to be a lot of individuals coming back from the past, not just on masculine side, but divine feminine. But it's already showing here that they're not even looking at this. This is not an option. They're really focusing on divine feminine and how they feel. But they do know what the cause and effect of this choice is going to be. And it could get a little bit messy before it gets pretty, but they know the end goal is the spiritual connection. I will check in with you next week. If you do want your personal reading, feel free to go to the link directly below or join our YouTube membership for the soul coaching and twin flame updates. Take care, beautifuls.